more familiar with it, and just sort of let you know why, if you don't have it, that you should even care.
Yeah.
So
All
let's
right.
dive in.
You ready?
Yes.
I'm going to interview you. You ready for this? I think we'll go back and forth.
I'm a little scared.
Yeah, I would be too. It's Halloween. It's always scary time. I need props, man. I got to get props. All right. What is the Facebook Pixel, Michelle?
The Facebook Pixel is this very intense and creepy thing that
Creeping across the screen.
it's a perfect time of year to talk about it because it is sort of creepy.
It's extremely creepy.
But anyways, it's a little pixel that you have to set up an account to create one, but you basically go in, create it, and then it gives you this wonderful gibberish of code that is going to be
That I like.
That's going to be scary looking, but you copy and paste it.
And it even gives you a little button that says send to developer.
Yes, it does do that. So that's helpful. But then some of the systems, like if you're using Wix or Squarespace or anything like that, they have the ability to like paste that in. Mm-hmm. But if you have a website that, you work with somebody or, whatever, or internally you work on it, then you need to take this code, send it to your developer and let them install it in the proper location. Yep. And then essentially what that pixel does, this is the creepy part, is that it actually sends data back to Facebook about your website traffic. So you can essentially...
It sounds creepy, but it's very useful from a marketing standpoint.
Right.
Just want to say that.
Well, the reason why it's more creepy for the end user than for you, you get really good data analytics.
Yes.
But
right. That's the creepy
side.
And
you need to make sure you have your privacy policy and all those things updated. If you need help with that, message me. I'd be glad to help you, point you in the right directions. I mean, I'm not legal counsel, but I'd be glad to point you in the right direction. But you basically want to make sure that you have that information about the privacy policy updated on your website. But essentially, it allows you to install this pixel that then sends your website traffic data over to your over to Facebook, so that it can then start getting smart on what kind of people actually visit your website. And see, what is so interesting and powerful about the Facebook Pixel is that since so many people use it, then it's tracking per user instead of how some of the Facebook Pixels or how the other tracking systems work. So it actually knows that I went to these 5 websites, so I'm interested in these 5 things. And then it sees that people that are interested in these 5 things actually like your product.
So or that's what makes interested in your product,
right
too.
So that's how it gets a little creepy, because it has a lot of that data where it's following around the different websites.
So I want to give you a difference example here between Google Analytics. Google Analytics doesn't have a social platform. Okay, we're not going to talk about Google Plus. But if you think about it from that difference, Google Analytics is just showing you people on your website, what they do and how they interact, what content they're looking at. And that's it. You can do the benchmarking, but you don't get anything else. And now when you look at the Facebook Pixel, it can say, hey, this user likes these other pages and has visited all these other sites.
And likes these pages on Facebook. Because there's the interconnection.
So if you think about it from the creepy standpoint, it is creepy. But if you think about it from the marketing standpoint, it's extremely powerful, because then you can actually get a lot more information about user A, who you don't even know who user A is, to be able to market to those people.
Right.
So that's what it is. Why would one want to use the Facebook Pixel, Michelle?
Well, we sort of hinted at this just because that's sort of how you have to describe how it works. But the benefit of it is that you actually are going to reach more people that are likely to convert if you're running advertisement. So when you're running advertisement, it allows you to reach more people that are likely to convert because of, again, what I was talking about, how that Facebook works off the individual person and their history and how they navigate different websites, how they navigate Facebook and like certain things on Facebook, or even comment on certain things on Facebook. I mean, think about how much you're doing on Facebook and how you're connected to certain people. Like all those things, that's what makes it makes the Pixel able to predict conversions better and make your advertising money go further. And so that's one of the really good things and one of the reasons why you should use it if you're, planning to run ads. And then the other nice thing is it gives you some unified reporting because it allows you to have the Facebook page data and, the data around your website. So you can sort of see some trends and things that are going on there. And even like conversion data you can set up with the Pixel, so you can easily go in and set up some custom conversions. That's a little more advanced, but you can do that. It has some pre-built conversion events already created that it keeps track of, and so that is just a really nice feature, and why you should use it. And then it gives you the unified audiences. Again, from a marketing standpoint, this is huge because it allows you to, it keeps it sort of hidden from you because it doesn't want to give you the user information, but it allows you to have a unified audience, and you can create audiences that look like that audience and then reach even more people and grow your Facebook page following, grow your conversions through ads, or grow your brand awareness because it's going to serve it up to people, serve advertisements up to that audience that it knows will convert, and it unifies that so it makes it even more correct and more powerful.
Right.
And then again, what we talked about earlier is that it is that unique personal tracking, whereas with some of the other analytical tools, it's more based off of browser cache data, and so that can be problematic nowadays because a lot of browsers are not allowing that to push information and track users. So this actually lets you compare, this person went to my website and also converted, and it's just really powerful in allowing you to better track conversions.
That makes sense. So again, there's a lot of good information there of why you should use it. And it does give you a lot of good reporting information, even if you're not running the ad. So it's still beneficial to use it just because you can get more information between your Facebook page and your website.
Right. And I mean, it's not to say that Google Analytics isn't useful. It's definitely useful to use Google Analytics in conjunction. But I'm just wanting to point out that Facebook, the analytical reporting allows you to map your actual social traffic, not your website traffic that was referred from social media, but you're able to gauge that interconnection.
Right.
And it basically allows Facebook to better identify your audience of who actually will convert, because it's looking at people interested in your page, commenting on your pages, liking your posts, and then people that are doing certain things on your website.
Okay, cool. All right, so who would benefit from using the Facebook Pixel?
Well, so anyone would benefit because it allows Facebook to better just serve organically your traffic, because it's if someone's always on your website and you're posting content and they like your page, then it's going to show it around that same time. I don't know if you've ever noticed that, but if I go to a website that has the Pixel installed, then when I go back to my Facebook feed, if it's a page I've liked and I haven't seen any of their content in ages, all of a sudden I'll start seeing some of their content. And so it definitely works the algorithm in such a way, so it's beneficial even if you're not planning to run online ads. But that is an especially, a specific category that's even more beneficial. If you're going to run ads, then you need to get the Facebook Pixel installed because you're wasting money otherwise.
Yes.
So
you
definitely
can't stress that enough. You got to use the Pixel data.
Right. So that's someone that definitely needs to use it. Another person that definitely needs to use it is someone that has a long time to purchase, because again, with the tracking data that you can get within Google Analytics, you're limited to the time span of how far back you can track the conversion data, like the actual attribution model of how many times they came to your site and those sorts of things. So if you have a long time to purchase, then you definitely need to be having the Facebook Pixel installed, because it will definitely keep track of conversions from a long time ago and help you be able to better see that conversion path than you would be able to because a lot of times what has happened, and we have this happen with some of our clients that have like higher priced products that does take a long time to purchase. And what happens with them is that they basically were getting like a lot of direct conversions through Google Analytics. And then it was always puzzling because anytime we would run Facebook ads, they would get a lot more conversions like within a certain time span. And then it would never show any social conversions on Google Analytics. But then once you started monitoring with the Pixel and the Facebook analytical reporting, you saw the full picture. So again, it's useful to use all the sources to look at the different information to compare and contrast and see that long time to conversion, and see, you know, did they see a Facebook post a year ago and then converted? You would be able to see that kind of information. So. And then it's also useful for people that want to better convert people from online to offline traffic, because it again is tracking people per person, and they have the app on their phone, so it's really useful for that. Another area, you know, of like the advertising space that's good for that is also Google. I'm not downplaying the importance there, because they can do some similar things as well.
We're
but
just talking about Facebook,
right? But it does give you that benefit, and so it's just really powerful.
One of the other things that I remember about the Facebook Pixel that you can do is people looking at your e-commerce site. You can then say people who look at this category or even this specific product, you can then run ads directly, and that goes back to the people who run ads. But you can get that granularity to show that specific product back to that user again.
Yeah, I mean,
instead
and that's
of just saying, come back to my website or whatever your generic ad is.
Yeah, you can definitely target it to that level. You can be very, you know, creepy. You can even do stuff where you're like, you know, I know you like so-and-so's page, and, you know, those people love you can have a different kind of ad for people that like certain people's pages, you know. So there's a lot of things you can do, but you first have to get it installed. So,
and another good use is in cost savings is excluding people who do these type of events on your website. So you could say people who completed the form, because you could tag it with the lead event. Don't show ads to them. Yeah,
or
you know, got their
customer list. You can put, well, that would be more
audience driven.
Yeah, that you would have to upload those lists. But
again, that's still useful, and again, it's a great cost saving mannerism or mechanism to use when you're running ads.
Right. Yeah, and you could do it with like excluding people that have seen certain ads from seeing a different ad that you've got.
Right.
So you can get really complex, but the basic the basic thing is, you know, you can benefit from it if you just anybody, you know, if you have a Facebook company page that you run, you would benefit from the Pixel, because again, it would make your organic stuff show up better to people that like your page or follow your page. But then if you are running ads, have a long time to purchase, or you want to convert people from online to offline traffic into your stores, then those are people that could especially benefit from the Pixel.
Right. So let's recap what we covered today. We talked about what is the Facebook Pixel, besides being a creepy, scary bit of code. Why one would want to use it, and then what type of businesses and marketing side, what kind of people would be good to use the Facebook Pixel. So that's our talk today. We hope it wasn't too scary.
I hope that you have a great weekend.
Yeah,
Thanks for
it's Friday.
joining
I
us.
get a new day soon.
Have a good one.